but I dropped my streak and I had almost 1,000 days. You can do it. There are other ways to learn language, and most of them are better. Besides, Duolingo is actual garbage at most things that aren't just, here's a bunch of vocabulary. I'm about to start using an app that, this isn't sponsored, this is not like an endorsement. I'm about to start using an app called Bunpo because it actually is going to teach me Japanese grammar. Human 2 is using it and liking it, and I feel pretty good about this option that I'm adding. There's so many things that are icky with it that, frankly, avoiding it wholesale when it's for things that are very obviously like, no, we already have people for that. It's just unnecessary. Dwarf, thank you so much for your Prime, my friend. Let me get you a little pumpkin drawn up. I'm going to stick this guy underneath here to prevent him from drying out. Let's, the page might get a little bit orange. Hopefully that feels thematically appropriate. So I have a tissue and wipe some of it off. Dorito, you should put some music on. Roll around in moss, because when I have existential dread, the antidote usually isn't trying to remove it. It's filling my head with more things, so it's not the only thing in there. Honestly, sometimes it just gets crowded out or soothed by having things that remind you that yes, you do exist, like that, which rolling around in moss would be an extremely tactile experience, and affirm that you have a body that you're attached to that exists and you're touching it right now with the moss. So I'm going to co-sign that idea. As a engineer, I have opinions, but the most important one is that engineer is a really stupid title. How do you spell that? I want to look into it. Oh, Bunpo. 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 My nose is itchy. Ah! Wims and I have been watching Yu-Gi-Oh! In Japanese and learning now. Oh, that's so cute. I'm so happy for you. I hope that's going well. Drunken Dwarf, I'm gonna draw your pumpkin for ya. 16 months is a big deal, my dude. Thank you so much. You guys know you only get just one Prime sub a month. I'm very honored that you've chosen to give it to me. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Everybody, please check out Drunken Dwarf's work. You're a blacksmith located in England. Doing lots of crafty good things recently. Starting to do a little circuit of shows as well. So there's a chance that at some point you might even catch him out in the wild, which could be really cool, I think. There we go. Giving your pumpkin some little freckles. Adds character. All right. There we go. Oh my gosh, are we on our way to a train? Guys. There we go, Dwarf. I hope you like your pumpkin. I might have to send physical ones if I'm able to for tier 3s. It's just occurred to me that there's more than one type of sub, and now I'm scared because my brain likes to run away with me. Pumpkin, yeah! It's branded as AI, but it isn't actually? That's interesting. Buzzwords help sell things. It's so annoying. Heck, technomancy. You know, I am having a pretty nice Friday. I got to meet a bunch of my mom's coworkers today. We went over to one of their houses. They had a bunch of stuff come in that they had to like mail out to people. Or I don't really know what Mumphy does for work, to be honest. If chat boops your snoot, does it become less itchy? Not really, no. That's itchier now. Oh no. Ugh. Can't roll, I hurt. I promise I'm doing my best to remain attached to reality with the knowledge that I do, in fact, exist. And my existence is a good thing because I get to eat cheese. Yes, you get to eat cheese. You get to be our pal. You get to have an adorable dog named Casper. You get to do a lot of things. There's a lot of really good shit that happens only because you exist. And that's amazing. Oh, is it Tren? Oh my gosh. Hey, thanks for the bits. Thank you. I love how we mostly just ignored September. This wasn't really a priority. I was more concerned about like making it out here to visit my mom, all things considered. So just gonna smooth out a little bit more of these little blemishes. In the machine learning space, I've stated the positive uses of tiny models for medical or industrial purposes, but those models are a bit more involved to make, so a lot of companies resort to building giant ones. That's crazy how somehow that makes more sense to build. It just doesn't, I don't get it. I think the wrong people are making decisions. And they have money. And based on the decisions they make, I don't know how that's possible. Sorry for bringing up the devil's internet. Eat as much cheese as you can like it's a side quest. Amazing. There is a hype train. We should all be afraid. But it'll be over in a minute and a half, so it's okay. Just everybody hold on tight. Reality and lots of stuff in it is weird, but the cheese is right in front of me and exists as much as I do, and that's good enough for me. It's a pretty good baseline, I think. But yes, thank you for the bits, Animal. Great pumpkins, thank you. Mumphy, what are you doing? Thank you for the bits. Oh my goodness. Having fun. All right, well listen, you guys keep it together. We cannot get into like a 5 or 6 level hype train. I don't have the brain cells for it. Or the spoons. Yeah. I'd have to go and get the entire drawer, and those are Mumphy's, and probably shouldn't be put into all of this clay that I'm working with. That wouldn't be very food safe. If you train a model to do one thing, the size is tiny. The problem starts compounding once you have a model intended to do every word problem imaginable. Jesus Christ. That does seem to be one of the big problems, yeah. Second GPU is an Intel B580. I don't know what that means, but I'm happy you has it. I hope it brings you joy. Send you some brain cells you can borrow? Yes, please, thank you. Speaking of the splendors of IRL, I landed an interview for a paid internship at a community garden. Wow, good luck, gamer, indeed. Oh my gosh. Gonna go touch some real grass? Look at you go. You're gonna do a great job. Many fortunes. Casper's been such a good boy these last few weeks. Of course he has. Thank you so much, you guys. I don't think 0.5% is accurate, though. That seems wrong. I think that was 50%. You do deserve him. Listen, humans worked hard on dogs, and dogs are happy to be here for us. Think about how it makes you feel when someone says, I don't deserve you, and then consider whether you would want to make your dog feel that way. Now, cats, on the other hand. We don't deserve half the shit that cats put us through, but they're worth it. Charlie threw up under the bed yesterday, and Mumphy might be a little upset about it. We didn't find it until this morning. sheet is on. It was a square. Oh no, so it's on, but it's not neat. Oh dear. And you almost hit your head, you poor thing. Oh my gosh. Guess what day it'll be in 37 minutes here? Oh my goodness. Thank you for the bits, Animal. 104, 10-4, heard. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be Animal Day tomorrow. And it's almost tomorrow for you. That's very exciting. Do you have plans for tomorrow? Are you going back to Efteling? Are you going to the zoo? Is Efteling a zoo? I don't remember. There's a lot more air movement in the room today. My goodness, things are drying up quickly. Either that or I'm talking more. Since my little installment in the Mossy monologues yesterday, oh gosh, I haven't read it yet. I'm so sorry. I've been looking for little things to do around the community where I live, and there's nothing to do at all. Literally nothing. Stinky. Oh no. Well, once you're feeling better, maybe you could take it upon yourself to make some things happen. Because sometimes we end up being forced into being the change that we want to see in our immediate universe. Whether that means setting up a little library, or having a little bake sale for your local Girl Scout troop or something. I don't know. Efteling is not a zoo, but there's a horse show with knights. Ooh. Do you get to pick a knight to give your favor to, or is it like jousting at the Ren Fair? Casper is the goodest boy. Listen, one of the things that I discovered in the last few weeks is that one of the things your autonomic nervous system, which is the system that's all fucked up because of POTS, regulates, is a lot of your emotions related hormones. And so mood swings are not uncommon, which does explain a few things, and simultaneously made me feel relieved and also mortified. So being emotional isn't a bad thing. The things we feel aren't bad. They're not good either. They're neutral. The ways we respond to them can be far more. Say that the way that your emotions impact you isn't important. I'm not saying that at all. That's very important. Those are the things that can make a bad mood, It's a mood that makes you feel things that you don't want to be feeling, whether that's sad or scared or angry or whatever. But yeah, I get it, is what I'm getting at. Anyway, that was a really long way to say that. I'm sorry. I'm a little windy. I didn't post about it in your Discord, but I did get it out in other places. Had a brain wobbly a few days this week. I realized October marks 6 months since we lost Nan. Oh, not till near the end of the month, but my brain wouldn't shut up about it yesterday. And feel free to not take this on board if it does not suit your personal beliefs. But the very end of October, there are a lot of cultures who believe that the world's, the veil between world thins. Whether that's Dia de los Muertos, belief that, your family can come visit you during that time, or, other, cultures who similarly believe that, spirits, whether that be, people you used to know or entities, good and evil, it's a time of a lot of change. And I know that it marks 6 months. But maybe knowing that that 6-month mark is a time when a lot of people are also feeling close to lost loved ones, that could be comforting to some people, I guess. And I wanted to offer that to you, because it's really hard losing people. I've been thinking about Margaret a lot recently, and she's not remotely the same as your Nan, who was wonderful in her own ways that are not remotely snake-like, I'm sure. But was raised Catholic, so All Saints and All Souls Days were prominent. Yeah. And Halloween falls on, on that equinox, I think, or close to it at least. So it's that time, and it's just something to think about, and I hope it's a nice think about. I didn't get raised very Catholic despite my grandma's best efforts, so unfortunately I only have a very loose idea of a lot of the Catholic like saints' days and things. But I do think the buildings are fucking beautiful. Like, holy shit, the Catholic Church knows how to do an arch. They found all the people who knew how to do them too and went, hey, let us give you money. Make pretty things, please. Pretty things that everybody gets to enjoy. Public works. Now, if only we could convince the billionaires to go back to doing that. It says, my eyes are so puffy from the crying. Oh. Everyone was nice and supportive at work. I'm so glad. I get the feeling you've been through a lot of hard shit, Dorito. And I know about some of it. And I'm glad that there are people that you're interacting with regularly now who are showing you such a different type of energy. Because it's what you deserved all along. It's what we all deserve. When the Celtic tradition of Samhain, which predates it, which I'm more drawn to as I get older. Samhain was definitely one of my favorites growing up. Regardless of whose house we held it at, it was definitely one of my favorite circles growing up. I really liked Hoof and Horn. I think that was the main thing. There's lots of stomping and chanting in that one, and it gets very energetic. If your parents didn't raise you pagan using the book Circle Round, you may not know what I'm talking about. Little shock to your system. I hope it's a positive zip zap, the kind that makes your system go, oh, wait, no, more of that. Hope so. Can I just say that, over the last year or so, I've noticed that while you are still an existential Dorito, you are a much less self-deprecating Dorito. And I'm really happy for you about that. Yeah, between now and when we first met all those years ago on the interwebs. That's some good growth. Hoof and Horn, I thought you were going to go down the trick-or-treating, apple bobbing, etc. route. No, I think we only did apple bobbing maybe the once. But we so should have done it more often. We did bobbling for apples once when I was in school as well. But I think they realized that it was a little unsanitary. Having all these kids' faces go in. More, please? Yeah, there you go. There you go. Just got to get you in to see a dog whisperer. I went to order just these little pumpkins to put on my things. Hey, shout out to Critter Greaves, Vixen's Vault. Waves Graves here. Very cool critter. Waves, DM me. I am happy to make arrangements. Because there is some risk that I don't end up finishing enough boxes to justify keeping all of them. So. And they're pretty lightweight. I think, especially with a headband to support them. How you doing? I should do a thing? What should you do, animal? Ads are coming soon. Thank you. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Very cool critter, for sure. So remember guys, the ad break is 3 minutes long. And it's so that I remember to do self-care things and you have a chance to do self-care things and none of us have to actually watch the ads. I do ask that you leave whatever device you're watching on with the volume turned on just a little bit. It helps with the viewer retention stats because it decides that you don't exist if you mute it during an ad, which is rude and intrusive, Twitch. But I guess I get it, kind of. Not really, actually. No, I don't get it. I think it's rude and intrusive. Self-cares, yes. Nan once hung an apple on a string from the door frame to try and take a bite out of as it weaved back and forth. What the fuck? How the fuck does it know you muted it? I don't know. But I can see it drop. I can see it happen. And I know that people probably do, because most people don't know about that. And so, like, you know, something to consider. If you want to leave a lurk on a friend while they're streaming or something, or step away from your device, leave it on like 1% so that Twitch doesn't decide that you don't exist. For optimal supporting of your friendly neighborhood cat girls and other assorted streamer streams. For self-deprecating, I'm doing my best to not be mean to me. Good! It's been a weirdly difficult journey to not being mean to myself. Anytime I do something now, I'm like, huh, that's cool. Wonder how I can make it better. Rather than, ugh, garbage, feel bad. That is such a beautiful thing, Dorito. Look at you go, you handsome critter. Listen, being nice to yourself also does great things to your skin for those of you who care about that kind of thing. I hear that it is good for your skin because cortisol is not necessarily good for your skin, and being mean to yourself all the time is stressful. Stress hormone, cortisol, there we go. I'm not going to self-care, I'm going to dog care. Also a very good option. All right, I should take a sec here and make sure that I am situated. I think my foot is falling asleep. I'm gonna stretch it. I'm gonna take a quick nature break and I'm gonna be back. Do more crafts. Okay? Okay. There's my BRB sign. I put it away. There we go. About just that. It's a little bit overgrown that way. See, it's cute. Just tell me it's cute. If you mute the browser, it knows you mute if you mute the embedded Twitch player at the icon in the corner. See, I heard it knows if you mute the whole device too for mobile users. So consider. All right, I'll be right back, guys. And I'm actually gonna mute just because I have to go to the bathroom, so. Hi, chat. Are we back from the ads? Do you guys want to see Charlie have his treats? Yeah, you gonna have them. Give me a second. Yeah, I'll get you some. Yeah, I'm the boss. I'm gonna get you some treats. Yeah. Come on. Up, up. Oh. Wow. Yeah. There we go. Here's a good Charlie. Yeah. We got him new treats that don't have any corn in them. He seems to like them. You got your big crunchies, yeah. Good boy, Charlie. You want a couple more? That was only 4. Mommy usually gives you a couple. Hey, up here, so everybody can see. No, don't put your whole face in the bag. No. Don't work at me. You are just fine. Your tummy is not upset by not having a treat. It is upset by a lot of other things, though. You poor thing. There we go. There's your baby. He's so handsome. Yeah. Have you had your little smackerel of something? Yeah. I don't think that's a treat, honey. You should not eat your own fur. Yeah, I know it smells like them. That's my finger. No, thank you. Okay. Charlie treats. Swear I think my duvet is square. Trying to find the short sides is so hard. I didn't know they weren't supposed to be square. I don't think I thought about it though. It has the juice that cats can't use. Thank you for link. All right. And we are back for pumpkins. All done. We are in fact being right back. It's got the juice. Yeah. There's a couple of these that I didn't go back and fix the little hole in the top that makes it easier for me to add a little wire vine. There we go. A vine too. Boom. Vine boom. There we go. But I forgot. There's a couple of them and it closed up. This one, it's like, where is it? That looks like a bow. Oh no. Okay, just don't look at the tops of the pumpkins by themselves, okay? They're meant to be rectangular for a double bed anyway. Vire. Ooh. I once knew a character named Vire. Committed war crimes. Although, it's hard to prosecute a war crime when you don't have international law. It wasn't a crime at the time, so I guess I'll get off of that, so... Bastard. Wine. I can't have wine, remember? I got that blood pressure problem. It's the dysautonomia. It messes with my bodily autonomy by making me very reliant on the floor. Why is it just the middle finger that keeps coming out? I'm not doing this on purpose. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna stop farting. Oh my God. Insert dad joke here. Hi, Woad. Welcome in. Just replace your blood with wine. Blood issues resolved. I am not Jesus. I cannot do that. Kiwote. Well, you know. Niblet triangle. adopted niblet as a gender neutral term for nieces and nephews. I think it's really cute. All right, let's do the tiny one now. We did 2 regular sized ones. Let's do the tiny one. He's still little. This is a lot of clay. We'll do like half of this.
Oh, Charlie.
This
Brings each one on your little fuzzy hearts.
it really does. He's always hoping he can cop another snack.
I am not here for that.
The trouble is that his tummy doesn't tolerate lots of snackies. He's not very good at it. But how you doing, Wote? I liked your dad joke today. It's very, very coy and quaint. Whatever. Those were not the words I wanted. They were the words I had to hand. Thanks, brain. I love having a brain that does things right up until it stops being a brain that does things. I'm sure people can relate. I noticed crying temporarily soothes most of the pain in my facey and brainy parts. You know, it's very possible that you were holding a lot of tension in your face in order to not cry. So I'd imagine that, yeah, there's a little bit of a release there. I feel like there's a bubble of air trapped in here. I wish you wouldn't. No air trapped in there, thank you. I don't do it on purpose. Oh, I'm sure. I have had many friends over the years who have, for whatever reason, grown into adults who struggle to let themselves cry. This isn't something that you're doing wrong or you're bad for. It just happens. Often because of experiences that we have that tell us that it's not a safe thing to do. I prefer to cry. My body's like, but what about no? Aha, see? Like I said. A lot of times you realize you can't because you get to a place where you wanna. I don't really have any suggestions, but I would suggest that you keep talking about it, because just like Rumi's patterns, that shit doesn't go away if you just hide it.